A man once told me something I'll never forget. He was sitting on the edge of my exam table, early 70s. Wiry frame, calloused hands from years of factory work. He stared at the floor for a long while, then said, "Doc, I'm tired of waking up feeling half alive. My body's cold before I even leave the bed." It wasn't just his circulation. It wasn't just his energy. It was something deeper, like life itself was slipping out of reach, one slow morning at a time. I've seen this pattern too many times to count. Men who once lifted engines with their bare hands now struggle to lift their own mood. Sharp minds, dulled by brain fog. Strong hearts, now straining in silence. And behind it all, poor circulation. Not just cold hands or numb toes, but the quiet erosion of vitality. I'm Dr. Thomas Layton. I've walked beside men like this for over 4 decades. Retired steelworkers, teachers, veterans, each carrying their own version of this invisible weight. You don't always notice it happening, until one day you do. If this message speaks to you, type 1. If you're unsure, type 0. Either way, thank you for being here. Now, let me share something simple but powerful. A daily ritual that has helped many of my patients feel steady again, not just in body, but in spirit. It uses 4 humble ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen: garlic, ginger, lemon, and turmeric. No gimmicks here, no miracle claims. Just a way to give your body the tools it's quietly been asking for to clear the blood, ease the strain, and bring warmth back to places that have gone cold. Let's begin with garlic. This isn't just a seasoning. It's a medicine nature left in plain sight. In fact, I'd go so far as to say if garlic didn't exist, pharmaceutical companies would try to invent it. What makes garlic special is a compound called allicin. But here's the catch. It doesn't exist until you crush or chop the clove. That's when it activates, and that's when the real healing begins. Allicin works like a gentle blood thinner. It opens your vessels, lowers your pressure, improves flow to the heart, the brain, even the skin. It's like turning on a faucet that had been rusted shut for years. And unlike medications that force your body into submission, garlic works with your system, not against it. It doesn't shock your numbers into change. It reminds your vessels how to be flexible again. One study from the Journal of Nutrition found that aged garlic not only slows down arterial hardening, it can help reverse it. Think about that. Years of slow damage, gently undone by something you can hold between your fingers. I once had a patient, a former firefighter, who started adding raw garlic to his diet. Not cooked, not roasted, just crushed and rested, then eaten raw each morning. He said the first few days were rough on the taste buds, but by week 2, his hands weren't cold anymore. By week 4, his wife told him he looked 5 years younger. "Doc," he said, "it's like someone flipped a switch inside me." Garlic doesn't just help the heart. It lifts the fog, supports immunity, regulates sugar. It's a whole body helper, not a one-trick pony. But garlic, as powerful as it is, isn't meant to work alone. Pair it with ginger, and now you've lit a fire in the bloodstream. Ginger has a different energy. It's warming, awakening, like sunlight through your veins. For generations, it's been used to treat everything from nausea to pain. But its true gift lies in circulation. Ginger helps dilate the arteries. That means more room for blood to move, less pressure on your heart, and better delivery of oxygen to the brain, muscles, and every cell in between. It's like giving your bloodstream a set of better highways. No traffic jams, no narrow roads, just a smooth ride through every organ. But ginger does something even more profound. It tamps down inflammation. And inflammation, as I've told many of my patients, is the silent ember behind almost every modern illness. It's not loud like a fever or a cough. It's subtle, creeping. It irritates your blood vessels until they stiffen and scar. Ginger helps put that ember out. In one study, ginger extract lowered blood pressure and improved blood flow in people with early signs of heart disease. And unlike synthetic drugs, it didn't come with a laundry list of side effects. You don't need a lot, just an inch of the root, sliced or grated into hot water, or half a teaspoon of the powder. Sip it. Feel the warmth spread from chest to fingertips. That's not imagination. That's your body waking up. One retired school principal I worked with started drinking ginger tea every morning after his walk. He told me his thinking felt clearer, his steps steadier. And for the first time in years, his fingers stopped turning white in the cold. If garlic is the quiet healer, ginger is the spark. But we're not done yet. To round out this healing circle, we turn to lemon. Now, you might think of lemon as a garnish, something to liven up water or fish. But beneath that tartness lies one of the most potent detoxifiers nature has ever made. Lemon is rich in vitamin C, which your blood vessels need like plants need sunlight. It keeps the lining of your arteries strong and flexible. And when your vessels are flexible, they don't clog, they don't tear, they carry your life force with ease. But lemon also balances your body's inner environment. It may taste acidic, but once metabolized, it creates an alkaline effect. That calms the internal acidity where inflammation likes to thrive. Its antioxidants, hesperidin and diosmin, help sweep your bloodstream clean. Think of them as little janitors, scrubbing away toxins and free radicals that lead to plaque. And lemon, more than any pill I've prescribed, helps people feel awake. I remember one man, former Navy, sharp wit, stubborn to the core. He hated pills, but he'd drink warm lemon water like it was a sacred ritual. Said it made his gut feel lighter, his mornings clearer. "It's like my body knows I'm starting fresh," he told me. Lemon doesn't just clean the arteries, it sets the tone. It tells your body, today, we begin again. And when you bring lemon together with garlic and ginger, well, something remarkable begins to happen. The healing compounds don't just add, they multiply. Each supports the others. Each fills in where the others leave off. But there's still one more piece, the final puzzle. The root that doesn't just support circulation, it defends it. And that's turmeric. Turmeric is different from the others. It doesn't shout. It doesn't burn or bite. It just sinks in slow and steady, like a memory that refuses to fade. This golden root has been trusted for thousands of years, not because it adds flavor to curry, but because it speaks to something deeper in the body, something harder to name, the quiet erosion caused by time. The active compound in turmeric is curcumin. That's where the real magic lives. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural substances in the world, and for good reason. It doesn't just reduce inflammation, it reverses the damage it leaves behind. Most men I've seen with circulation problems also deal with chronic, low-grade inflammation. They don't know it's there, they just feel worn down. Stiff joints, foggy thinking, restless sleep. That's inflammation in the background, dulling the edges of life. Turmeric steps in and quiets that fire. It helps repair the lining of blood vessels, lowers LDL cholesterol, the sticky kind that clogs the pipes, and it boosts nitric oxide, which keeps those same vessels relaxed and open, like new garden hoses instead of old brittle ones. But what makes turmeric even more profound is that it works at the genetic level. It signals your cells to repair themselves. It tells your body, we're not done yet. You can still heal. Now, there's one catch. Curcumin doesn't absorb well on its own. But when paired with black pepper, even just a pinch absorption skyrockets. That's due to a compound in pepper called piperine. Without it, most of turmeric's benefits pass right through you. With it, you unlock its full potential. I've seen this in men who've added turmeric to their routine in teas, smoothies, or this very four-ingredient drink we're discussing now. Over time, their blood pressure improves. They sleep better. Their minds clear. Their steps quicken. One gentleman, a retired train conductor from upstate New York, told me after 3 weeks of this ritual, "Doc, I feel like the rust has been shaken off." That's what these ingredients do together. Garlic clears the way. Ginger fuels the flow. Lemon refreshes and restores. And turmeric seals the healing. So how do you bring them all together? It's simpler than you might think, and it only takes about 3 minutes a day. Start by peeling and crushing 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. Let them rest for 10 minutes. That pause is sacred. It's when the allicin forms. That's when garlic becomes more than food. It becomes medicine. Then add about an inch of fresh ginger, grated or finely sliced. That aroma, that warmth, that's your body's call to wake up. Squeeze in the juice of 1 whole lemon. Fresh, not from a bottle. That's your daily flood of vitamin C and antioxidants. Next, stir in half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, followed by a small pinch of black pepper. Just enough to let the curcumin do its work. Pour in about half a cup of warm water, not boiling, just warm enough to carry the nutrients gently. Stir it well. If you prefer a smoother drink, strain it. If you don't mind the texture, sip it whole. Either way, drink it slowly, on an empty stomach, preferably in the morning. Let your body receive it with gratitude. And if your blood pressure is on the high side or you're managing cholesterol a second, smaller dose in the evening can be helpful, but always listen to your body. That's the real guide. This isn't about a magic cure. It's about rhythm, consistency, listening, honoring your body, one small step at a time. If you're finding this helpful, or you're just starting to think differently about your health after 60, consider hitting the subscribe button. That way, you won't miss future insights made just for men like you. Now you might ask, how soon will I feel something? Some men feel a shift in days. Warmer hands, sharper thoughts, less drag in their limbs when they walk. Others notice changes over weeks, steadier energy, better sleep, clearer skin. But the deepest changes, the ones that rebuild the vessel walls, that strengthen the heart, that bring peace to an overworked body, those take time. And that's okay, because this isn't a race, it's a return. I remember a man named Albert, 68, former postman, carried a heavy bag every day for 40 years. After retirement, his energy vanished. His wife told him he looked pale, he felt foggy, couldn't keep up with the grandkids. He started this 4-ingredient ritual one quiet morning. He didn't believe in it, thought it was hippie nonsense, in his words. But by week 3, his hands had color again. He walked farther, laughed more, even picked up his old harmonica. He told me, "Doc, I don't know what's in that drink, but I'm breathing easier, sleeping deeper, and I feel like I'm coming back to myself." Coming back to yourself. That's the heart of this. This drink isn't just about the ingredients. It's about creating space each morning, even just a few minutes, to choose healing, to choose energy over apathy, clarity over confusion, warmth over numbness. And the truth is, most men wait too long. They wait for a diagnosis, for a crisis, for some final moment of fear. But you don't have to wait. You can begin today. Not with a pill, not with a dramatic overhaul, but with 4 simple gifts from the earth, crushed, sliced, stirred, and sipped. And the man who does that, day by day, will begin to feel something stir. Not just in the veins, but in the soul. You'll feel steadier, quieter, more like yourself. Not because something was added, but because something was restored. And that is worth far more than any prescription. So what happens next? When a man gives his body something this simple, this ancient something begins to shift. But it doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't come with flashing lights or big breakthroughs. It arrives quietly like a sunrise, slow, gentle, undeniable. The first few days, you might just feel steadier. You wake up, and the world doesn't feel as heavy. The cold in your fingers and toes, it's less sharp. Your thoughts don't drift as much. You stand up with more ease, less stiffness in the knees. These aren't accidents. They're signs. Signs that your blood is moving, that the vessels are opening, that the fog is starting to lift. It's garlic relaxing your arteries. It's ginger warming your core. It's lemon cleaning out the clutter, and turmeric, that quiet golden healer, soothing inflammation at its root. Give it a week, maybe 2, and you may start to feel your energy stretch a little farther into the day. You might notice you're less winded on the stairs. That afternoon crash doesn't hit quite as hard. You smile more without realizing it. That's your body saying, "Thank you." And after a month, for some men, that's when the deeper changes begin. A man I once treated, name was Harold, 73. Retired electrician, told me something that stayed with me. He said, "Doc, I used to feel like I was running on leftover fuel, just enough to make it through the day. But now, I feel plugged in again." He'd been doing the garlic, ginger, lemon, turmeric drink for just over a month. Every morning, same time, no skipping. And it wasn't just energy. His blood pressure came down. His hands stopped going numb when he drove. He started walking his dog again 2 miles, even in the cold. He didn't change his whole life. He just changed one small piece of it. That's the part most people miss. Healing doesn't require a complete overhaul. It starts with consistency and attention and a willingness to listen to what the body's been trying to say for years. See, most men wait until something breaks. They wait until the diagnosis shows up on paper, until a doctor uses the word blockage or risk or irreversible. But you don't have to wait. You don't need to crash to begin healing. You just need to return. And returning can be as simple as slicing garlic on a quiet morning, letting it sit, watching the lemon juice pool in the bottom of a glass, feeling the warmth of ginger rise from the cutting board, stirring turmeric until the water turns gold. It's not just a recipe, it's a ritual, a way of telling your body, I remember you. I still believe in your strength. Let's start again. I know some of you reading this feel skeptical. That's fair. We've been sold a lot of empty promises over the years. Magic pills, fast fixes, secret cures. This isn't that. This is slow medicine. The kind that takes root. And when something takes root, it grows in all directions. I've seen it over and over in men who thought their best years were behind them. Men who couldn't remember the last time they felt clear-headed. Men who'd given up on vitality. Not overnight. Not through force. But through something small, honest, consistent. I remember one fellow, Paul, 66, long-haul driver for most of his life, said his circulation was so poor his feet always felt like ice. Tried everything: foot warmers, compression socks, even those vibrating foot pads. Then he tried this, the drink. He said it felt silly at first, but by the 3rd week, something changed. His feet weren't cold in the morning. He could stand longer without the pins and needles. He even told me his nighttime life had improved, as he put it, with a little embarrassed laugh. That's not a small thing. That's a man getting his rhythm back. And I say this not as a miracle story, but as a reminder, your body wants to work. It just needs the right support, the right signals. This blend, garlic, ginger, lemon, turmeric, it sends those signals. It tells your body to let go of the tension, to clear the sludge from your veins, to soften the places that have gone hard, to protect what still functions beautifully. And you know what happens when circulation improves? Everything improves. Memory, mood, sleep, digestion, désir, drive. Because blood is life. And when it flows freely, so do you. You become less reactive, less anxious. You breathe deeper, laugh more. You begin to feel like yourself again. Maybe even better than you remember, but only if you stay with it. It's not about perfection. You'll miss a day here or there. That's okay. What matters is rhythm. A man in rhythm, with his body, with his breath, with his choices. That's a man who ages with dignity. So I invite you not to commit to a cure, but to commit to care. 3 minutes each morning, a knife, a glass, a handful of ingredients your ancestors likely knew better than we do today, and a quiet message whispered to your cells: you are not forgotten. If you've come this far, thank you. You've already taken the first step. And if this message touched you, perhaps share it quietly, as it was shared with you. If you'd like more of these gentle reminders, ways to restore strength, clarity, and peace as you age, hit the subscribe button. Not to follow me, but to walk this path together. I'll be here when you're ready, and I believe you're ready now. Be well, my friend.